Every step across the savanna can mark the beginning of a pursuit. The most formidable predators make their move the moment their target lets its guard down. Speed, strength, and strategy come together within just a few critical seconds. Before the target has time to react, the distance has already disappeared. When this wave of pressure sweeps across the landscape, which animal will remain standing in the end? Across the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, herds of wildebeest, zebras, and other hoofed mammals create one of the world's largest land migrations. This seasonal movement is more than a journey in search of fresh grasslands and water. It also supports many of the region's predators. For lions, the migrating herds provide an important food source, while playing a vital role in the ecosystem's predator-prey relationships. Even so, these animals are far from easy targets. An adult wildebeest can weigh around 500 pounds and is equipped with powerful legs and curved horns capable of creating a formidable defensive zone. Amid the vast sea of golden grass, a herd of wildebeest moves forward in a state of constant alertness. Hidden beneath the dry grass, however, a lioness has been waiting patiently. Other lionesses quietly approach from different directions. The moment a gap appears in the herd's formation, an animal that becomes separated is much easier to approach. The decisive moment arrives in an instant. The lioness bursts into a short sprint, using her initial acceleration to close the distance. As the gap narrows, the wildebeest's speed becomes less effective. Nearby lionesses quickly move in, increasing their chances of bringing the encounter under control. Across the open savanna, patience, teamwork, and the ability to choose the right moment are what create the greatest advantage. Across the savanna, wildebeest are not the only important food source for lions. Zebras are equally valuable, yet they are far from easy targets. An adult zebra can weigh up to 700 pounds, reach speeds of nearly 40 miles per hour, and deliver powerful kicks that make predators proceed with caution. For that reason, lions rarely rely on long pursuits. An individual that has already lost energy or become separated from the herd presents a far better opportunity. Out on the grasslands, two adult male zebras have just finished a prolonged confrontation. The repeated clashes have reduced their stamina, and their reactions are no longer as sharp as before. Hidden among the golden grass, a lioness remains almost perfectly still. She patiently watches the zebra that has just come through the confrontation, noticing its heavier stride as the distance between it and the herd gradually increases. Then the opportunity appears. The lioness bursts into a short sprint, rapidly closing the gap. Once within range, she uses her body weight to limit the zebra's movement and works to bring the encounter under control. Across the savanna, strength is most effective when combined with patience and the ability to choose the right moment to move in. During the dry season, as rivers gradually shrink, the remaining waterholes become the lifeline of the savanna. Every species must return to them to survive. Yet these seemingly peaceful places are also favored ambush sites for marsh crocodiles. Predators capable of going for weeks without food while patiently waiting beneath the surface. A herd of deer slowly approaches the water's edge in a state of heightened alert. Their ears turn toward every sound, and their legs remain ready to accelerate at any moment. On open ground, speed helps them avoid danger. But when they lower their heads to drink, their field of view narrows, and their ability to move away quickly becomes more limited. Hidden beneath the murky water, the crocodile blends almost perfectly into its surroundings. Specialized sensory organs around its jaws detect even the slightest vibrations. Its powerful tail stores the force needed for a rapid burst at precisely the right moment. In an instant, the water erupts. The crocodile surges forward, securing its target before it can create a safe distance. Once the deer is drawn into the water, its advantage quickly disappears. Along the edges of these dry season waterholes, every step is a balance between the need to survive and the constant presence of risk. Beneath the intense heat of Africa's wild landscapes, a herd of impalas grazes quietly while remaining constantly alert. Their ears turn toward every sound coming from the brush, while their eyes scan the ground for signs of danger. On the grasslands, impalas usually watch for movement hidden among the vegetation. This time, however, the threat is concealed high above in the trees. Leopards are exceptional climbers and sometimes use elevated positions to approach their targets. With a coat that blends into the canopy, a leopard can remain perfectly still for hours. When an impala moves into the ideal position, the leopard drops from a tree branch, using gravity to close the distance before the animal has time to react. The first moments of the encounter unfold in an instant. The impala springs away, changing direction repeatedly in search of an escape route. Its favorable angle of approach and powerful leap allow the leopard to stay close to its target. Even then, the challenge is not over. African wild dogs, spotted hyenas, or lions may appear at any moment. For that reason, leopards often carry their meal high into a tree to reduce the chance of losing it to other predators. Between the treetops and the open grasslands, every species makes use of its own advantages. Sometimes the line between safety and danger is not on the ground at all. It is directly overhead. Across Africa's dry grasslands, the rhinoceros stands as a symbol of defensive strength. An adult can weigh around 5,000 pounds, with thick skin and a powerful horn that causes most predators to keep their distance. Even lions rarely choose a direct confrontation, but if a rhinoceros becomes injured, trapped, or loses mobility, its defensive advantage can gradually diminish. A healthy adult rhinoceros is far too risky to approach, so spotted hyenas usually find an opportunity only when the animal is already at a disadvantage. Once they detect signs of weakness, several hyenas begin following it, repeatedly assessing the situation from different directions. The standoff continues as the rhinoceros repeatedly turns to defend itself, while the hyenas spread out and regroup again and again. As time passes, the balance gradually shifts toward the pack. If the rhinoceros continues to lose strength and mobility, it becomes increasingly difficult to push back each new approach. The energy provided by the animal eventually supports many other links in the ecosystem. Across the African savanna, even the strongest natural armor cannot stand against the passage of time. Across Africa's grasslands and shrublands, honeybees are well known for their determined defense of the hive. The moment they detect a threat, thousands of worker bees quickly form a dense protective barrier. Even so, the honey badger is willing to face that challenge in search of the valuable food inside, making it one of Africa's boldest and most persistent mammals. Honey badgers often return to areas where they have previously found food, although locating a hive still depends on many environmental clues. Honey, beeswax, and bee larvae provide energy-rich nutrition, especially during times when food is scarce. To reach the hive, the honey badger uses its powerful claws to break through the outer layers as quickly as possible, reducing the time it spends exposed. Its thick, loose skin helps lessen the effects of bee stings while allowing it to twist and move with remarkable agility. Even so, it is not completely protected, making speed and efficiency essential. Within just a few minutes, the honey badger gathers the food it needs and moves on, while the bees continue defending what remains of the hive. Neither side achieves a complete victory. In the wild, every meal comes with a measure of risk. The honey badger stands out not because of its size or speed, but because of its determination and its ability to seize an opportunity. Across Africa's open woodlands, the line between safety and danger can sometimes be separated by only a few dozen feet in elevation. For baboons, the treetops provide a secure refuge. But to feed on fruit, the troop must eventually descend to the ground, where African wild dogs, renowned for their endurance and coordinated pack hunting, may be waiting. The encounter begins as the baboon troop crosses an open stretch of ground. The wild dogs spread out, approaching from several directions. They take turns moving in and pulling back, encouraging the baboons to keep turning in defense. Over time, this steady pressure causes one individual to lose its rhythm and become separated from the group. Adult baboons, however, are far from easy to overcome. Alarm calls echo across the woodland as the adults gather together to face the threat. One mature male repeatedly steps forward, causing the wild dogs to keep their distance. Even so, the pack continues applying steady pressure, gradually wearing down the adult's energy. As the distance to the trees grows greater, the advantage slowly shifts toward the predators. The baboon that becomes separated eventually loses its defensive position, allowing the wild dogs to gain control of the encounter. On the ground, the coordinated efforts of an entire pack can sometimes outweigh the strength of any single individual. No species is unbeatable. Only those that know how to apply the right strategy at the right moment. Every encounter reflects the balance between strength, adaptability, and the instinct to survive. These relationships create the ever-changing pressures that shape the lives of predators and prey alike. Whether hunting alone or as part of a group, every species relies on its own unique advantages to improve its chances of success. If viewers would like to continue exploring remarkable stories of survival, They can like the video and subscribe to the channel.